Hi everyone, so in this video we will be looking about international trade. So what is international trade? International trade refers to the exchange of capital, goods and services across international borders. That seems like a very hectic definition. So I am having two nations A and B. Okay, I'm having two nations A and B. A is a nation and B is a nation. Okay, and now what is international trade? Okay, the question is what is international trade? The exchange of, okay, A can give things to B and B can give things to A. What things? So commodities, it can be capital, it can be goods, it can be services or any of those things. Okay, so the exchange of capital, goods, services, etc. across international borders, okay, across international borders. That is what we call as international trade. So now, if I'm taking into consideration, I'm taking this nation A is produces wheat and nation B produces spice. Okay, nation A produces wheat and nation B produces spice. Nation A does not have the factors or does not have the environment to produce spice, but their wheat is having very good quality and there is abundant wheat in there and it is also having good quality. So in that case, what will nation A do? The same thing as with B. B produces good spice but they do not have wheat. So what will they do? Nation A will export to B what? Wheat. Nation A will export wheat to B and nation B instead will give them spice. So there is a trade. This is what we call a trade. This is an example for a trade. Okay, this is a trade. They are exchanging things, exchanging commodities. So the keyword over here is exchange. International trade means exchange of what all things? Capital, goods and services across international borders. Now, in case there is no trade happening, then what will they do? If A is not able to trade spice, then they will have to confine themselves with whatever they have. Okay, that is without trade, nations will have to rely on the products. Whatever products they are producing domestically, they have to depend on them, they have to rely on them. They cannot go beyond that. Okay, so this trade plays a dominant role in the economic development of a country by helping it to widen its market. So it is also a factor for the development economic development. So that is the basic definition of international trade. So international trade refers to the exchange of capital, goods and services across international borders. Without trade, nations would have to rely on products produced domestically. Trade plays a dominant role in the economic development of a country by helping it widen its market. Now we will look about the advantages of international trade. So what are the advantages of international trade? Now, international trade enables countries to specialize in the production of those commodities in which they have comparative advantage. So here I have told the example of wheat and spice. Right. So nation A. So look here. Nation A is good for producing wheat. So what will they do? They have the factors, they have the environment to produce wheat. So they can produce more and more wheat. That will be an advantage for them. That is, if they're trying to produce spice by themselves, they may not have that good quality or maybe there can be other consequences. But if they produce more wheat, it will bring them more income. It will bring more income to their nation, right? So international trade enables countries. So it will, what international trade does is it will specialize the it will help in specializing the production of those commodities in which they have comparative advantage. Okay, that is the first advantage of international trade. Now what is the second advantage? It increases the size of firm. So here, comparative advantage, specialize. specialize. Okay. Now it increase the size of firm's market. Increase the size of a firm's market, resulting in lower average cost and higher productivity. So when, see here, international trade is happening, then the productivity will increase for that nation, for that particular nation. The productivity will increase and the average cost will come down. The average cost will come down and the productivity will increase. Okay, so this will increase the size of firms market. That is the second advantage. Now what is the third advantage? International competition promotes innovative production, new technology and marketing. So if we try to confine ourselves within a same nation, within one nation, if we are confining, okay, the people are trying to buy this, okay, we are good with it, we are not going to bring on any other technologies. But if the competition increases, okay, the competition is being taken to another level, it is going internationally, so people, the consumers will demand more and more. So then we have to put in innovative productions. For that they have to bring in new technology and marketing. So international competition promotes innovative production. Okay, innovative production is there, then new technology will be promoted, right? New technology is there, marketing, they have to do more marketing because there will be competitions. Okay, marketing is also there. So these are the three things. Okay, next, what is the next advantage? Consumers benefit in the domestic economy as they can now obtain a greater variety of goods and services. So in, if we are taking, so this is about international trade, right? So now if we are taking into the consideration about the domestic economy of that particular domestic economy we are taking, there they will also have greater variety of goods and services. Okay, so greater variety, the consumers in the domestic economy will also have greater variety of goods and services. Goods and services for whom? For the domestic economic people. Okay, next. The increased competition ensures commodities are supplied at lowest price. So when the trade is going at international level, there will be a lot of competition. So this competition level, when the competition level increases, what will happen? The price will be available at low, because if any one of the competitors are increasing at a higher, if they are increasing their price, there are many other competitors who will give the product for very lower price. So the consumers will prefer which one? We always prefer the one with lower price, right? So they will go for the lowest price. So when the competition increases, lowest prices, the commodities are supplied at lowest prices. Then it results in foreign exchange gains. Now what is this foreign exchange gains? Foreign exchange gains, this foreign exchange gains, that is when India sells its product abroad, it receives foreign currency. This money is then used to pay for imports that are produced more cheaply overseas. So when a trade happens, see over here a trade happens. See, between two nations, trade is happening. Okay. Now in this case, I will get. See, if I am selling the wheat, I am in A, okay? So I am selling wheat and I get the money in the form of B's currency. Whatever the currency is of B, in that way I will get. Okay, so I will get the currency of B over here. Now with this B, I want to purchase spice from B. From nation B, I want to purchase spice. So what will I do? This money that I have got from B. See, when I have exported wheat to B and I got currency of B. So with that currency of B which they gave, I can buy the spice from them. Okay. So that is what the sixth advantage is telling. It results, so that is foreign exchange gains. Foreign exchange gains, when India sells its, okay, India is selling its products abroad, it will receive foreign currency. It will get foreign currency, and this money that we are getting, We are getting the money because we are exporting. So this money that we get while exporting, what will we do? It is used to pay for import. So we also need we also have to import things, right? So while importing, we will give this money to them. Okay, so that are produced more cheaply overseas. That is the sixth advantage. Now the seventh advantage is free trade creates new jobs in domestic economy. Employment will increase in exporting industry. So in when we are taking into consideration about the exporting industries, the employment opportunities will increase and new jobs will be there in domestic economy. So increased opportunities of employment. Then what is the next advantage? The countries involved in free trade experience a rising living standard, increased real incomes, and higher rates of economic growth. This is created by more competitive industries, increased productivity, efficiency, and production level. So here the countries involved in free trade experience. So those countries which are there or which are involved in this international trade, they will have more living standards. Their living standards will rise. Okay, why their living standard is being raised? Living standard is raised. Okay, why their living standard is raised? That is because their income will be more. So if we get more income, we will definitely increase our living standards, right? So, and that will increase the economic growth. The economic growth will also, the rate of economic growth will be increased. Why? Because the living standard is being increased. Why the living standard is being increased? Because their real income have increased. So all this is because of international trade. So this is created by more competitive industries, increased productivity, efficiency, and production levels. Next, the ninth advantage. Greater access to imports will benefit consumers and businesses by widening the choice of products available and boosting the living standards of people. So here also almost the meaning is almost same, but here that is if the imports access is much more increased, so it will benefit the consumers as well as the business people. So why? Because we will have a wide variety of choice about the products, and this will be see, when we have a wide variety of choices, the living standard of people will again be increased. So that is another advantage of international trade. And then having a bigger market to sell to means that a business can sell more, earn more profit, and pay higher wages. Exporting businesses pay more to workers and sell more per worker than non-exporters. So if we are having, see, we are having a big market. We're having a big market. So in this big market, I can sell more. I can sell more, then I can earn more. I can sell more, I can earn more, then I can also pay my employees more. So I can pay higher wages. So here the those working in the exporting field, those workers get more. Okay, so everything is more over here. Okay, 11th one. In the absence of trade, governments may distort market prices by subsidizing production. In such cases, production and trade guided by distorted price will not be efficient. So, in case there is no trade happening, what will the government do? Government will take uh, policies such as subsidies. Okay, so subsidizing productions. So here, uh, what will happen? The government will tell you cannot sell a particular product. There will be a fixed rate. So the price of the product cannot be decreased beyond this, or cannot be increased beyond this. So like that it will be given. So that is, in the absence of trade, government may distort market prices by subsidizing production. In such cases, production and trade guided by distorted prices will not be efficient. And then our last advantage is, one clear cost of protection is that country imposing it forces its consumers to forego cheap imports. Okay. Now, sort of cost of protection. We are telling that the consumers will have to will get, or the consumers, if a nation is undergoing international trade, the consumers will get the products at a cheaper price, those imported products at a cheaper price. So this is about advantages of international trade. Now just like this, we also have disadvantages of international trade. Okay, now what is the disadvantages of international trade? The main argument of protectionism is the infant industry argument. Industries in developing countries can effectively compete with those already developed if they receive some initial protection in the form of tariffs or subsidies. So it is about protectionism. Now, we have heard about monopoly and all. So if there is already, see, this is a company X which was there since very long, and it has been very established, it's going good, it's getting a very good amount of profit, and it is in kind of in high profile in the international place. And then there is this new startup coming called Y. Okay, Y. So this guy is new, this company is really new to the market, and it does not have much of experience, and people does not trust, and they're having all those issues over there. Okay, so at this case, this is called an infant industry. This is an infant industry. Okay, so this industry if this industry is in a developing country, and then it have to see if it needs to reach at an international level, if it needs to compete at an international market, at the international market, then it have to satisfy the qualities and standards of this particular thing. So this X is already there in the market, and people have good knowledge about it. So in order to compete with this company, they, or this industry in this case, okay, they will have to, the government will have to support it. So that support is given in the form of if you have heard about tariffs or subsidies and all those things. So government will have to first support these infant industries. So for that, government will have to spend some money. Okay, so that is one disadvantage, government will have to spend some monies, only then they can uplift these small infant industries. So that is one disadvantage of international trade, it is hard for the infants. Okay, now the second disadvantage, increased economic stability as economies do not become dependent on global market. This means that businesses are not vulnerable to downturns in the economies of their trading partners. Example, recession in the USA leads to decreased demand for India's exports, leading to falling export incomes, lower GDP, lower incomes, lower domestic demand, and rising unemployment. See, the economic stability, the increased economic stability should not be dependent on the global market. Our economy should not be fully dependent on the global market. So if something like that happens, it will be really vulnerable. That is, the businesses should not be vulnerable to the downturns. That is, if one example given here is in USA, we are taking in USA, there was recession, so that will lead to decreased demand for India's exports. That is, India will not be able to, India can export, but USA does not have enough money to import those products which we are exporting from India. So at that time, what will happen? The export incomes of India will fall down, the GDP will go down, the incomes for about all those exporting industry people and all those things, and then the domestic demand will go down, and the unemployment will rise. So why is all this happening? This is because we are depending on them, we are depending on the global market. So that economic stability is based on the global market. So that is a disadvantage. If any of the nation have any issues that might be connected, and it can cause economic instability. Now, the third disadvantage is countries with surplus products may dump them on world markets at prices below the cost of production. Suppose if a country is producing more than they have, they are having extras and extras, they're having a lot of surplus. And so, in this case, they will dump all their products in the world market, at a very low price. So there are many other nations who will not be able to compete because they will have a minimum number of a minimum price to sell. They can't sell below that, right? So in that case, what will happen? Again, the cost of production, the price will be go below the cost of production because of the surplus products. So that is another disadvantage of international trade. Then countries, fourth disadvantage, countries whose economies are largely agricultural face unfavorable terms of trade. Their export income is much smaller than the import payments they make for high value imports, resulting in large foreign debt levels. So now those countries which are depending on or which are having the agricultural phase, the so-called agricultural phase, so they have certain unfavorable terms of trade. That is whatever they are exporting. Exporting means very clear. So whatever they are exporting, that income will be okay. See this, they are exporting. Whatever they are exporting, they will get only very less. See, only very less. They are importing, they have to pay more. Exporting, they will get less. Okay. So at this case, in this case, what will happen? Their foreign level debts will increase. Foreign level debt, foreign debt will increase. Okay. So it will affect the nation as a whole. So that is another disadvantage of international trade. Then, fifth one, all round industrial development will occur in the country since it cannot depend on foreign industries. So, all round industrial development. So, inside a nation, the all round industrial development, that is, all the industries will happen because we cannot simply depend upon the foreign industry. So that is, in that case, they're importing things, whatever they're trying to import, that rate will go down, so that will affect the market, the international market. That is the fifth disadvantage. And sixth disadvantage, free trade can lead to pollution and other environmental problems as companies fail to include these costs in the price of goods while trying to compete with companies operating under weaker environmental legislations in some countries. So there's pollution and other environmental problems. Okay, environmental problems. So all these environmental problems will also be included because companies will not take into consideration about all these things about the pollution and all environmental problems. So that is also another problem. We have to look about our environment also. We cannot just pollute it for the trade, for the international trade, can we? Okay. Next one, the next disadvantage is if all traditional industries are not protected, foreign competition may ruin them and create unemployment. So even in this era, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people undergoing employment in the traditional industries. So we have to protect them also. If they are not protected, the foreign competition. See, foreign competition is a very high competition, so this competition will ruin this traditional people and that can cause unemployment also. So we don't want unemployment first. Okay. And next disadvantage. It is unwise to export all the natural resources of a country. For example, India has exhausted its large supply of manganese and mica in the name of earning foreign exchange. Just because we get foreign exchange, it doesn't mean we have to just drain out all those natural resources we have. An example given here is India used to have manganese and mica, and since we thought of getting a lot of foreign exchange, what did we do? We just exhausted the whole thing. Okay, so it is not a good idea. Natural resources, we have to preserve it. We cannot just go for depletion, right? And then next one is protecting import duties are a way to generate tax revenues. So now another way, tax revenue. So uh, if we are trying to import, there, if as I have to again, we are taking into consideration two nations, okay, A and B. Now A have some material, okay, XY is the name of the material and U is the name of material in B. So B does not have this material, okay, but A have this material and A wants it to give to B. Why? Because they will get money, right? So they will get money, and because exporting will give them money. But B is in real need of this. Okay, B is in real need of this particular thing. So what will happen? So A will tell, if you want to get it, you will have to, okay, or just leave the whole thing. Okay, just leave the whole thing. Okay, I'm having two nations, A and B. Okay, A have car. So A is having abundant production of car. Okay, I've been producing. A is producing a lot of car, and then A's greatest market is B, and A wants to sell it to B, and then B will be telling, if you want to sell your product in this nation, that is in my nation, if you want to sell it, you need to pay this much amount of tax to us. You need to pay this much amount of tax to us, then you can sell it over here. So since A really wants to sell it to B, why? Because B is the greatest market for A. So they will give this tax and let it go. So that is this import duties. It is a way to generate tax revenue. It is a way to generate tax revenue. That is another disadvantage. So it is just a tactic. Okay. Next one, 10th one. During times of global financial crisis and recession, falling employment has often resulted in an increase in protectionist policies in many countries. Governments in the United States, Britain, and other European countries have faced domestic pressure to stop purchases from Chinese and Indian companies. So this is an example, that is, during the, if there comes a global financial crisis or maybe a recession, employment will go down. Okay, so then all these protectionist policies, will see what protectionist policies is. So all these protectionist policies will be there in many countries, and in that case, governments in the US, Britain, and other European countries have faced a lot of domestic pressure, and they had to stop their purchases from Chinese and Indian companies. So, this is a basic idea of what international trade is and the advantages and disadvantages of international trade. I hope it is clear.